Morning. Good morning. Yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Relationships. Real talk, folks. This is real talk. So, today we're going to delve into the world of dating, love, connections, whatever fancies your rose. And I'm your host, Marvin Kane. You are joining us with Love is Not Judgmental. And the topic of today's discussion is an interesting one. It's the top five things that older men should avoid that literally chase younger women away and what they should do instead. So let's just get right into it because this is a meaty subject, one that I think a lot of men are probably going to be listening to. So the first thing is you have to understand the age gap. That's the elephant in the room, folks. It's the age gap. It's something that it's going to come up whenever it is that an older man is dating a younger woman. It's just impossible. Now, I'm not saying that it's a problem, and like I've always mentioned, that this channel is not about advocating saying, "Oh, you got to be in age gap relationships." No, we're just talking about it. Nor do I have all the answers to solve all the problems that come up in relationships. That's not my goal. My job is just bringing awareness, just giving you a little bit of direction. So the discussion today is going to be a little bit tricky. But when it comes to the age, an older man should never use his age as like some type of reward, saying, you know what, but I'm older, and wiser. Those are things that have to be learned as the process continues. You don't want the woman to assume anything about you except that you're decent, nice guy, and there's a reason why she would be interested in moving forward. But as far as the age thing goes, saying, well, I'm older and, tooting your own horn, I'm very stable, I got this. See, women listen, yes, but they're also visual, just like men are visual. They want to see the evidence of you being a nice person. They want to see the evidence of your wisdom. Because really, that's what they're in this relationship for, is to see what they can learn from you to help better their life. So if you're just preaching, I'm older, that's why you should listen to me, or do this because I'm older. Some men just don't understand how women operate. And I'm not saying that I do. But what I am saying is that you can avoid a huge pitfall with women by not beating them over the head over the fact that you are older than they are. See, older people come from a generation where we thought that when you're older, you get the respect. And we still think that in society, for the most part, that older people get the most respect, and they should because they've got experience. They can be very helpful. They can be mentors. They are a great benefit to each individual. But when it comes to relationship, it's just like you can be famous on television, but at home you're just mom and dad. So it's things like that that we want to help you to avoid. So all this is a means of kind of improving the conversation because see, a stale conversation is just going to get you stuck in a generational gap. See, you're coming from two different generations. She's probably born in the 90s, maybe the 80s, but you're definitely from the 60s, 70s, the 40s, somewhere in that range. It's a whole different world. It's a complete different discussion. Back in the 50s, there was a lot of two-parent families. In the 90s, there's less. In the 2000s, there's even less. So that attitude of people sticking together, that's kind of faded. That's a lot of fading has gone on. So one thing that we need to avoid is getting stuck when it comes to our conversations. Older men, yes, you have years of life experience to share, but you don't want to bore her with your stories. I mean, you don't want to put her to death by hearing. So you want to make your interactions, your stories very interactive. And this is interesting. I'm smiling because I have a lot of stories. I'm 55. I tell stories all the time. In the beginning, those stories are quite interesting, but it depends on the culture of the women. Like, for example, African women want you to talk all the time. I'm not talking about African American women. I'm talking about women in the continent of Africa. They want the men talking all the time. They just want to listen. They come from a different cultural mindset. In America, though, you dated an American woman or a woman who's from Africa living in America for a while, and you start to tell these soapbox stories over and over and over again. See, she's gonna be like, "What?" See, she wants to interact. See, you want discussions, not stories. So if you are beating her over the head about your age and then you try to change it into a conversation one-sided where you're doing all the talking and she's not. See, you can't have a podcast at home. You can't have a YouTube live at home where you're just sitting there talking to yourself and hopefully that make sure that everyone's listening. You just can't do that. You have to have discussions. So that interaction, it needs to be engaging. It needs to be set up. So that must means that sometimes what you're going to have to do is slow down, slow your roll, think about what you're going to say before you say it, have a little plan to get her involved in the discussion, and you'll reap greater rewards. Another thing that older men do, and this would be number three, is they need to respect the boundaries of a younger woman. Respect, my friends, is paramount. Never assume that a younger woman is looking for a sugar daddy. See, when you put yourself out there that way, that's just like if you see a woman, and we use this example of women because it's easy to understand. If you see a woman walking in the streets with a bra and panties on, I mean, she's in the public, in the streets. All she's showing you is her sexuality. And for those men that that's all they want from her, then they'll follow her. But for the men that look for much more than that, more substantive evidences of a personality, evidences of, a mindset and a purpose in life, men who look for that, they'll look at that woman and turn their heads. Well, the same is true if you put out there, I make a lot of money. I've been working on my job for the last 30 years. I'm about to retire. They're going to retire me on 10 grand a month. You start putting that out there like that. See, she's not interested. You're going to chase her away because she knows that money is temporary. Now, there are some women who, if you position conversations like that, then you know what they're going to do? They're going to like take you up on it. Because if all you're showing them is money, that's all they want from you. Just like with the woman, is all she's showing you is her bra and panties, then that's all she wants from you. And that's all she wants to give. And if you're attracted to that, that's all you want. So it's the same thing. So you've got to respect those boundaries when it comes in a relationship, or somebody else is going to kind of creep in. And when the excitement of, you being the sugar daddy, when it runs out, somebody else is gonna come in and take care of them financially. It's just what happens, but that person is gonna be the person that met them mind to mind, heart to heart, and that was a person they were able to build something real with. So it's essential to respect the independence and boundaries. See, don't ever assume that a woman can't take care of herself. No one should have ever done that in the past either. See, just because women were home taking care of the kids like 50, 60 years ago, it didn't mean they didn't have brains. It didn't mean that they didn't have the ability to go out and to work. They were just being team players supporting the family and helping support a man's career. But in the modern world, everybody works. The wife works, the husband works, the kids work, everybody works. Now, if they're smart, they put their money together, they make it a joint venture, and they all prosper evenly and successfully. But that's a mindset shift. That's a mindset shift. That's hard for some people to think like, I'm gonna put all my money together with my family and we're gonna grow that way. See, yeah, that's how you grow. See, that's how dynasties are created. That's how generational wealth is passed on. That's how the real generational wealth is passed on. So another point that men do is when women have interests, if you knock, "Oh, that's no good." Like, I mean, you're just meeting this woman. And if she shows an interest in a hobby or craft or an idea or a movie, "I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do." But whenever you introduce what you say to her, do you realize, do you notice, are you paying attention that she takes on your interests? So you need to embrace her interests. And see, you know what's attractive? Sharing interests. Instead of imposing your hobbies on them or the things that you like, the movies you like. Oh, every Sunday at 4, I watch the football game. Well, that's cool if that's what she's into also. See, you're bringing backgrounds and lives together. You're bringing them together. You're not trying to have a life here and she's got a life there. You're trying to bring your lives together. So you've got to find common interests. You got to find common things, or you might just be with the wrong person or pursuing the wrong person. So take genuine interest in what she loves. Learn to love it. Learn to enjoy crocheting. Learn to appreciate the hard work she does when she comes up with these knitting kits. Learn to appreciate if she's talking to you about publishing or marketing, whatever her passion is. You know, a lot of people work their jobs today out of passion. Maybe she's working her job as a computer programmer. Maybe she's an anesthesiologist. Maybe she's a doctor. Maybe she's a lawyer and she wants to talk to you about her work. Be interested. Be interested. The least you're interested in what she does, the less she becomes interested in you, not what you do, but in you. See, it's a shared community. And the fifth thing that men want to avoid is stereotypes. So let's debunk some of the stereotypes. And we already kind of touched on one, and that is about the money, about men feeling that their money will solve all her problems. See, not every older man is set in his ways. See, some people think, oh, you're older, you're rigid, you're just going to do it this way. Some are very flexible. I don't really consider myself an old man, but I know some people do consider me at 55 to be an old man. But what I do consider is that it's kind of nice to be flexible. I've learned through my years that just being rigid and stoic and just stuck doesn't really serve a purpose that's beneficial for other people that you bring into your lives. But when you are open and agreeable, kind of makes relationships very tender, very exciting, very approachable and appreciative. And so younger women, we don't even want to think of them as immature because of their age. You'd be surprised how many people are much more mature than they are by number. I'm shocked every day. I look at children like 6, 7 years old. They're doing things at 7 that, some kids aren't doing at 11. And there's some 5-year-olds doing things at 5 that people still at 11 or older ages aren't doing. They're having conversations that people 15 and 16 are not having. And these are the same children that grew up that we potentially fall in love with. It may not have been us, or maybe it was us. But you can't look at a woman just because she's younger than you are and think, oh, she's immature. She needs my guidance. She doesn't need you to tell her how to do the dishes. If she asks you, that's one thing. But she's been doing dishes maybe for 15 years, 15. And perhaps you've been doing the dishes for maybe 45 years. So this is not the time for you to come in and say, well, let me show you a better way of doing it. What? She's in the modern world. You come from the past. You might want to listen to her. Oh, well, we don't do it that way when I was a kid, blah, 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 whatever. Don't treat her like she's immature. That's a stereotype. It's a two-way street, folks. We should avoid generalizing people like it's the plague. Now, let's talk about what a man should do. First, all of what we described and all of what we talked about comes down to the category of my favorite, communication. Yes, folks, it's key. Communication, my friends, is the key to any successful relationship. We talk about it on this channel all the time. You got to be open. You've got to be honest. You got to have conversations that help you to bridge the age gap and foster trust. I mean, what's really going to happen is that as you continue to get closer to this person, you should forget their age. Yeah, it may be difficult in the beginning. It may be challenging in the beginning because you're going through that adjustment part, but it shouldn't last forever. It really shouldn't last forever. You should reach the point where the age You don't even see it. You don't even see it because the conversations are just that good. Another thing is you want to have, in addition to the conversation, you want to have shared goals. You want to have future plans. You want to plan together, not as individuals. You want to have real good discussions early on in the relationship, during the relationship, and as the relationship continues to go forward. You want to have good conversations because it's not all about what's happening right now. It's not all about the present. It's about the future too. And both of you want to end up in the future together. So the way you get there is you start walking together. That's your goal. You start having these goals. You align yourself with your younger partner as your younger partner is aligning themselves with you. So this is a very crucial aspect and part to relationship. And finally, excuse me, another thing that you can do when it comes to these connections is that be genuine. You have to be genuine. It's the power of it. I mean, don't be fake. Don't try and be something you are not. See, in this relationship, because it's so new, it offers a really good opportunity for you to be genuine. See, now you get to be the person you've always wanted to be. You, yourself. So you may have faked it, faked different things, been something. See, now you're getting into this relationship with this younger woman. Now you can finally come home and be you. Yes, be you. It's the power of a genuine connection. Focus on building deep emotional bonds. Really connect with her rather than just surface, super surface, surface level stuff. Once you make a deeper bond, incredible things happen. Like you may finish a sentence that she started, or she may finish the sentence that you started, or you may start feeling she could be in a different room, she could be in a different place, and it's the power of how the mind works. And you may start feeling these, you may start feeling each other. You be like, honey, you okay? And you find out that she was on the phone. You couldn't even hear her. She's upstairs somewhere. Or maybe she's at work, or maybe she's off at the mall. And you just feel a certain way. And so you pick up the phone and you call her up and you say, "Hey, babe, how you doing? You okay?" "No, I don't know. I'm not feeling well." Maybe something physical's wrong with her. Maybe she heard some bad news, but you're feeling it because you've got a deeper bond. You've got a deeper connection. That's what we're talking about. That's the other side of the relationship. That's where you want to be. That's where the joy comes in. It's stuff like that that makes it worth it. And that, my friends, if what truly keeps, it's definitely the truth. It's what truly keeps a younger woman interested. See, she's got to be on that pedestal. Women are beautiful. Women are known for their beauty, inside and outside. Compliment the inside as much as you compliment the outside. It's easy to say, "Oh, you got a nice shape. Oh, you got nice eyes." But what about the way she made decisions? I like how you did that. I like how you decided. I learned from that. See, let her know. Let her know that you learned from her, even though you're older, because old dogs always can learn a new trick, as the expression goes. So, folks, that's it. There you have it. Our top 5 tips for older men looking to build meaningful relationships with younger women. Remember, age is just a number. It's all about understanding, respect, connections, and of course, love. Love her. Love the one you're with. Now, tomorrow morning, we want you to join us again at 7:30 a.m. where we're going to have a discussion. This is interesting. We're going to be unveiling the secrets. That is a woman's impact on a relationship, or should we say in? Let's try that again. We're going to unveil the secrets about a woman's impact in a relationship. I think it's in. It makes more sense. So we're going to delve into that. We're going to talk about it very deeply. See, women have value. Men, we need to wake up on this. So many values to the complexities of a woman. And tomorrow morning, you and we're going to talk about it. So, my friends, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel. We thank you very, very much for your participation and the growth that you're allowing us to enjoy. So, always remember this: and we will see you on the next live where love is not judgmental. Go ahead, take care of yourselves.